Remember them days I had walked to the store, now I jump out the coupe with a couple of racks. This hoe from the Nolo want me to control her, but I wanna hit the little bitch from the back. 223s and a 392, I just pull me a 4 and then roll up a 7. Scoot up in the scat pack, make sure it's jet black, but I do hits in the motherfucking Chevy. That's just a Tahoe, dodging the potholes. I think I'm falling in love with the pills. Crushing on walk hard, twisted and Fago. I'm only cracking it, figure out a seal. I told my lawyer I got it, just do what you gotta do. I'm trying to get this appeal. I probably was
Peace, family. It's your boy DBXTHEGREAT.
Your boy Trademark here.
Cokesthedon.
And welcome back to the Player Circle. Okay, so today's show, we're going to open it up by talking about the difference between movement and motion. My definition, you know what I'm saying, of movement and motion, because a lot of people get it misconstrued and think that just because they moving that they have emotion, but it's not the same, you know what I'm saying? Movement is just it's moving from place to place and doing thing to thing, you know what I'm saying, out of your own understanding, right? You know what I'm saying, and not having no real God in your life, you know what I'm saying? But motion is being disciplined and obedient to the will of God and submitting yourself to His will for your life, you know what I'm saying, and moving how He wants you to move. That's motion, you know what I'm saying? You niggas out here trapping and they scamming and they doing all this goofy shit, but yeah, y'all getting money, yeah, you doing this, you doing that, bro, but you're not really having no emotion behind what you're doing because you're not letting God control your life, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I agree with you for the most part. Me myself, I look at movement as something that can be stopped. Motion is continuous, it's fluid. For instance, in a business aspect, you could have movement by going out to certain events, like putting yourself in the door, being at the right places, movement, introducing yourself to the right people, right parties. That motion is gonna come from the work you put in doing that shit. Right. It's gonna be consistent. Like when you get into a pool or the beach or some shit, when you get in, those waves around you, those spheres, those circles, they fan out. That's you jumping in. That's movement, right? Now when those circles, those rings hit you back, that's the motion. You get in what you put out. Just how you step in those rooms, those business meetings, putting all that work in, boom, it's fluid. You're going to get that, either the job you want, the car you want, the impact you want in the end. That's motion. Right. You don't have to, the movement is, I like that. Is individually, it's independent on your part. The motion is going to be dependent. It's going to hit you back. It's a cause and effect type thing.
So I would say I agree to disagree just because I like the angle both y'all came in, but in my opinion, like just thinking of the word movement, when you hear movement, what do you think of? You think of something that people can get behind, like the civil rights era, that was a movement. Type shit. When they started that movement, they changed some stuff. They was having motion on them. They had people talking. They was doing stuff in the city, but when they actually stood on business and they had some people to stand behind, people gathered, and I feel like that's what really made a change. So I feel like it really go hand in hand. You got to have motion and movement. Because if you have emotion, people hearing about you and you actually doing something, but then when you starting this movement, people getting behind it. And they're going to follow your lead, and you're going to continue to grow and build.
Money management, right? So we finna get into it, you know what I'm saying? Give y'all a couple of steps and a couple of ways to, you know what I'm saying? And our personal experiences on how we dealt with our money and the things that we went through with money, right? Book definition of money management refers to a process of managing your personal finances and achieving financial goals and objectives. Effective money management involves creating a budget, tracking expenses, settling financial goals, and creating an emergency fund, reducing debt, and investing in the future. Money management is an important skill to develop regardless of your income level or financial situation. But my own definition of money management is being able to have discipline, accountability, and patience. You know what I'm saying? Right. I say discipline because a lot of people, it's easy to make money, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can go out here and make some money. But the hard part and the discipline of it is actually, you know what I'm saying, being disciplined and not overly spending and unnecessarily spending your money on
save it, because it ain't what you make, it's what you keep.
Facts, you know what I'm saying? And accountability, right, like you were saying, holding yourself accountable when it comes to what am I spending my money on? How am I spending my money? You know what I'm saying? Should I really be spending my money on these things? You know what I'm saying? And the patience part of it is just being patient, bro, because shit, money gonna come. You know what I'm saying? You can't rush it fast money ain't always the best money to have. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's that them planting them seeds and letting them hoes grow. You know what I'm saying? That shit that's gonna last over time.
It's called fast money for a reason.
Facts.
It ain't never gonna be slow. It's gonna always be going just as fast as you got it.
Nah, for real. But shit, just a personal experience. Shit, my first 10K, nigga, I thought I was rich. You know what I'm saying? My first 10,000, I thought I was rich. Couldn't nobody tell me shit. But I blew the whole thing. Like, I bought 3 cars. You know what I'm saying? And I had to get my car fixed. You know what I'm saying? On top of that. So I went from having this money to not having nothing at all back to zero.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like being a hustler too. You know what I'm saying? You're not a real hustler until you can get some money, spend it, and then get it back and some.
It all and
you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it's just like, bro, be resilient. You know what I'm saying? Don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Just because things are what they are right now, don't mean it's gonna be like that forever.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you'll never truly find financial freedom in life until you hold the discipline of money management.
Right.
Until you fully understand what that means, like you were just saying earlier with the budget. You need to know how much you, on average, you spend every month with all your incomes coming in at the same time. What is going to be your leftover shit profit, you could say. Mm-hmm. What's your play around money after you get all your bills and shit out the way? Or after you get the responsibilities down, what do you have left? Right. Okay, boom. That's what I got left. How much can I save? How can I stack another bag for me late for the future for a rainy day? Okay, after that, what do I really just want or may need? Because I know me, for an example of money management, shit, PS5 been out for what, 2 years now? Right. I still ain't got one. Now, I've had the funds to get one,
right?
Yeah.
But it's always something more important that come up. Shit, I almost fucked around and cashed out last week.
Right. Yeah. Priorities.
But shit, cause nigga almost had a $500 bonus coming through. Mm-hmm. I was like, shit, I ain't gonna lie. PS5 like $499, $500. That's a quick withdrawal. That's a quick transfer type shit. Right. But at the end of the day, I'm like, nah, cause I need to spend $200 on a new undercarriage for my car. I gotta put some shit away from the phone bill. It's other shit that takes precedence over fun or perks in life. So I think the main key really is just having that discipline and knowing when and when not to splurge and treat yourself.
No, I agree. I always tell people it's the difference between just getting by and getting ahead. Because there's a lot of people that can just skate by life, but then are you really getting ahead? Right. And I mean, that brings me back to what you said about just learning how to budget. And my main thing when people is learning how money works. People don't really know how money works. Right. Money is a tool to make more money. Mm-hmm. If you saving it, you ain't making nothing at all. Mm-hmm. It's about, and then also I say the thing with wealth, in my opinion, is you will never be able to gain wealth if you can never spend less than you make. Right. If you always spending, living below your means and living a frugal lifestyle, because if you always spending more than you make, you can always be broke. Right. And I calculate all my expenses every day. I be telling my girl that I'm like, man, I'm calculating this budget down. So we spent $50 today. How much did I make? Oh, I ain't making none today. Damn. So
I don't need to spend.
Exactly. Now I'm down. And if you spend $100 or $50 every day of the week, you ain't made no money at all that week, nigga.
You in the debt. You in the red. Right.
Exactly. You gone. It's like learning how to budget and actually
budgeting effectively.
Putting it on paper. Because like you even talked about 10,000. My first time saying 10,000, I thought it was a lot of money. But after you touched it so many times, like you touch it multiple times, you're like, damn, 10,000 really ain't nothing. 20,000 ain't nothing. Like and that's why I brought up the conversation when it was on the other show, and I was like, your version of a lot of money might be, a different version of mine, because everybody have different opinions. Some people never touch 10. Right. Some people never seen them touch 50. So they might see 50 like, dang, that's a lot. But for somebody that touched 50,000 3, 4 times, 10 times, that ain't nothing. Right. Exactly.
It's just all like your opinion on it, you know what I'm saying, and then the growth within it, you know what I'm saying, because you could tell who knows the value of money and who doesn't, you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Like when I was younger, you know what I'm saying, I was one of them niggas who had some bread and I was flexing on Snapchat, flexing on Instagram with it. I had to realize that, nigga, that's really showing that I don't know the value of money. You know what I'm saying? When you flexing money and doing all that shit, bro, you don't have no sense of what money really is and what you can really do with it type shit. You know what I'm saying?
And see, I don't even put all the blame on my parents, but I do always say, none of my parents taught us about money management or budgeting. So if they don't teach us, how we going to teach somebody else exactly how we supposed to learn? And if their parents didn't teach them, then obviously It's a continuing cycle.
Type
So it's like, where do we start from here? We teach ourselves, teach our siblings, our friends, and our kids. So they can continue to teach other people, and then they'll learn how money works.
Takes a village.
Takes a village. I mean, people talk about old money. That's a real thing. You talking about old money. Some of these families, when we think about it, they still got money in their family circulating from the 1800s and 1700s.
Right.
And you got people out here. They say wealth don't last past 3 generations. And I looked that up, and it's a proven fact, which is crazy.
Wealth don't last past 3
It don't last past. Usually, when somebody in the family becomes wealthy, by the time they get down to the 3rd generation,
It's gone.
it's gone. They blew the money. They have no money management, no budgeting. It's gone.
Right.
When you look at all these families,
lifestyle used to that.
exactly,
Yeah, to have them meals and shit.
exactly, and even just studying the rich, looking at Rockefeller and how he built his family fortune is crazy. Just looking. Actually, he got a book. Look into the book about the Rockefellers. It's deep.
Type shit. So let me ask y'all a question. So if y'all could talk to, you know what I'm saying, the younger generation and tell them when they first get their first, $5K, what should they do with it? You know what I'm saying, in y'all opinion?
I always just tell people, put a certain percentage up. Even if you ain't putting 50% of it up, or half of it up, put 20% up. Put a certain amount up. Or if you actually are budgeting and writing down, then you have a certain amount going to savings, a certain amount going to investments, and a certain amount that you have spending on, whatever else you want to spend on. Right. I just say, put the money up and write it down on paper. You ain't gonna be able to know really what your bank account or your finances as a whole looks like unless you actually putting it down and can look at the numbers.
Right. So if I have a financial statement and shit.
I got the Airbnb budget pulled up, and literally I was showing my mom this the other day. I'm like, it don't seem like we make this much from Airbnb, this and that, but then when I put the numbers down, I'm like, dang, so we made $2,500 one month, $3,000 one month, $4,000 one month. But she like, dang, you don't feel like it.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, because it's going just as fast as exactly. But at the same time, when you put it on paper, you're like, dang. So one booking was for $1,100. Like, if you have bookings like that constantly, it adds up.
Type shit.
I do stand on Trey with the 20% rule though. I think if you're gonna get 5 bands, at least put a band up. Because I promise you, that the 4 not gonna last as long as you think it will. So that extra band will come in handy on a rainy day. I'm real big on security though, because I know, maybe because I'm paranoid, I know the sun ain't always gonna be shining. So whatever I can do to make sure I feel secure in the future, whether I know what's happening or not, I'm on that type of time. So for sure, at least 20%, put that away. I'm trying to think about when I was 17, 18, you really just trying to spend money on cars or girls type shit. So I would say put down on a car, a dependable car that you think will last you a while up until, if you're going to college, at least until you finish college. Bare minimum. Don't buy no bullshit that might last only 2 years. Make sure you know what the fuck you buying. Because the transmission, that whole go out, you might as well just get a new car. Because I'm telling you, it's simple shit like that.
That's real though.
You need to know. So
your transmission go out, you fried, bro.
Yeah,
unless you got some insurance or something.
So yeah, I think the most important thing was really that 20%. Everything else, if you're 17, 18 years old, that 4K, you can spread that out.
Honestly, I want to add something too, because it's some stuff I really wish I would have did at 17 and 18. Like, I was touching a lot of money even in high school. And the fact that I didn't even know, you always heard of stocks and bonds. So you heard of CD, certificate of deposits, but never really knew what it was. Exactly. I was able to do that at a young age. I was able to pour that money out while I was in college, or even once I graduated, and had this return, which would have been great. Like, for example, even now, say we go put $1,000 into a certificate of deposit and tell them, in a year we're gonna take it out, in 2 years we're gonna take it out. You're gonna take that $1,000, it might be $2,000, it might be $2,500. It might be $1,500.
So that be multiplied in the account type shit?
Yeah, so basically what it is it's a promise that you're gonna leave that money in there for a certain period of time. If you leave it in there for a certain period of time, it'll continue to earn interest on it. And once you go pull it out, you can take out the interest that you earned on it plus the original amount you deposited. If you take it out early, they'll let you take it out, but you're gonna have a penalty. So whatever you earn is all gonna be gone, but you'll still be able to go take it out. And that's something I say, even for now, for people, man, go sit your money somewhere.
Nah, that's real.
Because bank accounts, you ain't earning nothing.
Facts. Shit, having your money in the bank is like not doing nothing.
Silicon Valley Bank. People, you see what happened with that.
If anybody out there say you getting $1,000 a week, bro, make sure you putting at least 3 months of all your bills up first before you even start spending money on bullshit.
It's all budgeting. Everything you're saying is going back to budgeting and putting it on paper.
Facts.
Once you can outline how many expenses you have.
And make sure you know what you actually spending your money on, bro. Because it's easy to get out here trying to compete with other niggas and motherfuckers you see on Instagram and you see motherfuckers doing this and doing that and you like, damn, why I'm not doing that? And then you get to blowing your money on bullshit and then you looking back at yourself like, damn, why the fuck did I do that dumb ass shit? You know what I'm saying?
They're trying to get by, not get ahead. So what's some things that y'all did as a high schooler or even, you know, early on, I'll say with money that you regret or you wish that you would have did differently?
Shit, I say for myself.
Just because it's a learning lesson for all of us, for the ones listening and for the people watching.
Some mistakes I made in the beginning was just overly spending. Like, let's say I go to the mall, you know what I'm saying? I know that I'm not supposed to be spending my money on no shoes, no clothes, no girls, no
but
jewelry.
you doing it anyway.
I'm blowing it though.
You
know what I'm saying? But I'm not giving a fuck. I didn't have that discipline within myself to be like, nah, DB, man. Hell no, you don't need that shit, bro. I'm like, man, fuck it. I didn't make my money. I'm finna go spend this shit. Nigga, what's the point of having this money? You ain't gonna spend it, but
No, that's a
that just come with maturity. You know what I'm saying?
Assets over liabilities.
Fact.
Hey, young men out there, save your money on these dates.
Thanks.
Say, find you one girl, lock it down. Save a lot of money you need from it.
Man, see, I'm gonna pick you up for that, man. I like to call it like a chicken budget, right? You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be fucking with multiple bitches and you're gonna be with multiple women, you're gonna be doing your thing, bro. Make sure you have a budget within what you're doing. Yeah. If you're gonna take somebody on a date, about $200, that should be good. You know what I'm saying?
Dating, and not only dating, but dating multiple people is a rich man's sport, bro, for real. You can't. It's impossible to be out here doing that. And you broke, you ain't got no money. You got to be able to take care of yourself and each person that you taking out, literally.
Right.
They going to be looking forward to something. They going to want no Burger King, no fast food.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a rich man's sport. One. And settle down.
And then I promise you that $200 date, that's going to go a lot further than, you know, a couple $70 or $80 dates spread thin. So, that's
I'm going to pick back up off of just what you're talking about, just going to the mall. And as a young age, we don't think about assets at all. We just think about liabilities. We ain't think about nothing that's going to make us more money. And the reason why I brought that up, because I had seen a video earlier today where it was like 3 or 4 friends. And they had all, that was like either in college, I think they was in college or whatever, but they had all went in and put their money together and bought a house. The house was kind of run down. They was like, fuck it, we're going to stay here and fix it up. They stayed there, they started fixing it up, they still renovating it.
You got it right.
Sold the house. Each person made $50K off of $50K profit off of the house that they fixed up and sold.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro,
don't be knowing
putting it into assets though, and making your money grow. Because money is a tool, like I said. You gotta make your money work for you.
Facts. I agree.
At the end of the day, we talking about keeping it in the family. I brought up Rockefeller earlier. The story of him he was selling oil to the entire United States. He literally created a trust for his family, put his business in a trust. The trust owns a percentage of each of these gas companies we go to today, Shell, Texaco, all these companies. So every time people getting gas, it's a percentage of that going back into the trust, which is still
Rockefeller.
It's Rockefeller trust. So everybody in the family have their own money that they still earning to this day, and the family is still gonna be rich. He kept
generational wealth.
Generational wealth. I mean, there's a way to still make money and keep the business in the family. It's just all about reading and knowledge, and knowing what to do and how to do it.
Wall Street Trapper, he always say like the black community was in like financial trauma, financial deserts and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how do we get out of that trauma? By getting the knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Knowledge is power. We just have to spread the knowledge. That's the biggest thing.
Applied knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? You got once you get the knowledge, you got to apply it too. You know what I'm saying?
Most people don't want to listen, but the people that's listening, this is for them. I just wanted to bring up one more topic too, because he talked about earlier about not like, I guess, believing in banks and taking cash out. But how do you feel about the U.S. dollar declining and everybody starting to use other currencies, the Chinese yen?
Real shit.
Go for it. I got next though.
Prepare.
Prepare for sure.
Cause we going to war.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
I don't know when that war comes. Honestly, I feel like probably 3 to 4 years.
They were just practicing yesterday.
Max. That's when I whole like start or the announcement that okay, it's happening. If not sooner.
I mean, but they better have their ducks in a row because they know that they gotta click up to fuck with us. They know that they army can't. I mean, I know that's why they doing that, but
so
you know what I'm saying?
What I would say, one of the biggest things I heard that's hurting the U.S. is the fact that
inflation going on.
Not even that, these U.S. sanctions won't work. So what the sanction is basically like a bill that they give to a country. Say a country, say China, say something that the U.S. don't like or something. Biden could sanction, $2 million, whatever. So at that point, now they got to pay $2 million. They don't have to, but if they want to keep getting oil imported, oil from the U.S., they got to take care of this bill first.
Right.
If they're not taking the U.S. dollar no more, we can't do that. So what else we going to threaten them with?
Shit, nothing. The dollar got taken away from gold 50 years ago, so now we finally reaping repercussions of that shit being taken away 50 years ago.
Yeah, the gold standard.
Back to the gold standard now.
But the thing is, I mean, with gold, you can only back the dollar so much because of the Federal Reserve continuing to print money. Right. At this point, at this day and age in 2023, they printing so much money that they just printing out thin air. They just keep creating more and more money to inject into the economy. We ain't gonna get too political on here though, but
yeah, shit finna crash soon though. I mean, but like I said, shit, make sure y'all be prepared, bro, because the world is finna go into a recession soon. The next 2 to 3 years, they say 7 million jobs supposed to be gone, bro. So
yeah, they still trying to get rid of jobs. They talking about too many people got hired. Right. That's what they claim. It's crazy. It don't even make sense, do it? But
too many people got hired.
How does it make sense?
I can only get hired if the job is posted.
Shit, proper preparation prevents poor performance, man.
Facts. I know y'all seen all them people that got laid off from Indeed.
I did hear about that.
How the fuck you get laid off from Indeed?
Exactly.
They need Indeed.
But the crazy thing is, they employees finna go back on their website and apply. So it's like this shit crazy and stupid. But the world we live in, that's America for us.
Say just to bring everything full circle, bro. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you stay in discipline. You stand, you know what I'm saying, holding yourself accountable. You know what I'm saying, and being patient. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you saving your money. You know what I'm saying? Don't be out here splurging and look for different ways to invest into yourself, into your business.
Make sure you budgeting and writing it down.
Right. Budgeting, writing it down, you know what I'm saying? And teaming up with like-minded individuals so y'all can invest together and, you know what I'm saying, do different things.
Continue to learn. Forever be a student at the end of the day.
Snoop Dogg owns Death Row today.
Man.
Thinking about where he came from and the story of that as a whole, that shit is fucking incredible.
It's incredible.
That's a 1 in a billion.
I was really happy when I found out he owned it. I'm like, what?
That's that shit is hard. And I'll put my life saving. He's not selling that shit.
What? No,
he's not selling.
He's not gonna sell it. He wanted it for a reason.
He's not selling.
The shit won't finna do nothing with it.
Stories like that. We need to keep owning our shit and pass it down to our future generation.
No, facts.
But till again, man. See y'all boys later.
Peace.
Figure out a seal. I told my lawyer I got it, just do what you gotta do. I'm trying to get this appeal. I probably was pre-K. I started